Just so you guys are aware, I was not aware this was happening, and like I told Jake and
It's
Dan,
like all of our episodes.
Yeah, I'm finding out how much planning it goes into your prep for these wonderful podcasts.
Hey, as soon as we learned that Jake's not allowed to do research, we did better. If we have to research a topic,
I did a lot of research in the beginning.
And we also didn't have any listeners in the beginning.
I got really busy, and then I started half-assing it. Podcast about bourbon and the ones who drink it. This is Bourbon Matters. Welcome to Bourbon Matters. I'm Jake.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Gold Eagle Jake.
And we're joined by the newest member of the Bourbon Matters team, Kyle. Welcome.
Well, he's not a podcast member. He's just part of the team.
Well, yeah, he's part of the team.
I'm on the bench. I'm like one of the last five guys to get into the game. So,
Kyle has listened to us from the start. His name has been dropped a bunch on here, mainly because I've known Kyle since Peppermint Stick Preschool with Mrs. Duncan from way back in the day. Kyle's been a longtime friend, listener, and he's taking over. Only donator as well, yeah. Jake, this was probably before you. He once donated $5 to our podcast.
Damn.
For my shitty internet.
What'd you guys do with all that money?
It's still in the PayPal account. It was for my shitty internet. I didn't use it on my internet, so. But no, Kyle's listened from the start, and we thought it'd be fun today to see some of the things that Kyle's picked up and learned or hasn't learned from us.
Hold on. First, we gotta tell everybody what Kyle's job is.
I mean, he's not getting paid, so is it a job?
So, Kyle was getting furious that my wife wasn't updating social media.
Furious is a strong word.
I wasn't going to say it. I didn't want to say it.
Yeah,
so.
It's a strong word.
My hands are clear.
Demanded that he take over the social media. So that's what he's helping us out with now. So if you see posts you like and shit like that, it's Kyle.
My favorite part of the whole how this came to be was I sent a message of hey, Kyle offered to do this. Do you want Generate and not have to worry about this? And then you never sent anything back for 3 weeks. You're does Kyle really want to do this?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Kyle will be doing any of our social post things. So thank you, Kyle, for volunteering your time.
Happy to help. So, and Jenna, it was nothing. I was not furious. I was not upset. I just mentioned it. So,
no, she was happy. She was glad that she doesn't have to worry about it anymore.
But, no, since Kyle's listened, he's also one of probably Jake's further away shipments from Gold Eagle, because we've had stuff shipped down, or Kyle's bought stuff and had stuff shipped down to Georgia.
Absolutely. Yeah, I get the 2XO. Nice. It's a little blurry, but the American Oak they ordered, so I'm drinking that tonight as well. So it's a good bottle.
It's a great bottle. Beat Blanton's in one of our blinds.
I'm glad you like that because I suggested that to him.
Yeah, I got that one. I got the Knob Creek 12-year, which I can't find down here by me very readily, and there was also another band. I got 2 bottles of the Beautiful and the Damned, which are great, and then it was the one with the Eagle Rare sticker on it. I can't think of it right now. Old Elk.
Oh, was it Old Elk? Nice.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Gold Eagle, not Eagle Rare. Jesus.
No, we did one with the Eagle Rare sticker on it.
Oh.
Yeah, shut your mouth, Dan. Shut your mouth. I'm here just to combat Dan and his snarkiness on this podcast.
That's fair. We need
time for him, and
we need somebody that's also 45 and has known Dan, all of Dan's mind tricks, so that you can just slap him
who's
down.
Who's called anybody 45 though? That's bullshit.
Yeah, Kyle's over a year younger than me too.
Yeah.
Me and Kyle shouldn't have been in the same class, but I failed preschool.
I'm not surprised at that in any way, shape, or form.
I got to go twice to Mrs. Duncan.
Yep, and it
I'm
showed.
sure she was ecstatic about that.
So Kyle, you mentioned one of the bottles you got was the Knob Creek 12. I know that was one of the bottles we've talked about a lot on the show. Is that one of your first ones that you like had heard us hype up a decent amount, finally got, and then thought what we hyped it was worth the hype? Because a couple of years ago, you weren't even really drinking whiskey.
So I started drinking whiskey as I started listening to the podcast. So I listened to the podcast just to support Dan and see what you guys are doing, because I walked a bunch at the time, and so I'd run out of podcasts, and so I was like, I need more podcasts. So I wasn't drinking whiskey probably about 5 or 6 years ago. So yeah, Knob Creek was one that was recommended, and like I said, I cannot find it here regularly on the shelf to where you can get it and order it. So I would say, yeah, for sure, that was one that you guys hyped it up, and when I got it, I was like, okay, this is really good. I can sip on this and drink this almost as like a daily drinker if it was more readily available for me. But yeah, it's good.
Isn't Knob 12 the one that your dad like polished off while you weren't home, Dan?
Yeah. Yep. He's done that once. He's got a second bottle, but I gave him a bottle of Bland's for Christmas, so now he doesn't touch the Knob Creek. So.
Yeah, and what I do is, as I hear you guys hype up bottles, then I put it in like a notes app and just put in bottles, and I'm sure everybody else does something different, right? But just put it in the notes app, and then I got a couple of liquor stores down here that I go to and check out stuff, and like, oh, okay, I'll grab that. So I did ask Dan for some recommendations on rye, which I knew was a mistake, but
that was a big mistake. I remember that.
Choice.
I know, yeah, terrible.
What did I even recommend? Pikesville?
Yeah, it was Pikesville. Yep. So
That's a good
I mean,
one.
that's a good one, but
Yeah, fuck off, boys.
but you also steered him away from buying like one of my favorite ryes.
One.
It was a Peerless single barrel.
Oh yeah, he did.
I mean, regular Peerless is not good, but when you get a good single barrel, it's a totally different whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Jake, he's got a family. He's got kids he's got to feed. He didn't need to buy Peerless.
I mean, do you want good whiskey or do you want kids? I think the look at behind Jake. You can have both. Look at Jake.
Right, you can do it, Kyle. You can have both.
Here's the difference. One, I don't think Dave Ramsey would approve that statement, Kyle. Two, Kyle's older and more mature like me.
Look at him.
And you
look
can
at
every
him
once in a while see a
drinking,
kid's foot up in the background.
listening to your BS.
Jake R.
The more Dan
his kids are
talks, the
still
more
really
we need
small.
to drink.
That's a fair point. Jake's kids are still really small, so that's why there's all the whiskey in the background. 3 years from now, it's going to be a play place behind him, like inflatable toys.
I mean,
and shit.
he already
Some
has
kids
the
get
play
knocked over the
place.
shelf.
He just has to remove the bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah. What, Jake? Why we're here? What would make you more upset? Your kids knocking over your shelf of whiskey, or your kids knocking over your Lego shelf?
The whiskey shelf for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because don't you have like backups of all those in your closet?
No, not
Oh.
everything. Only like.
Not everything.
Well, I mean, there's like, I don't know, 20 different Elijah Craig single barrels on this shelf. I only have one of them. One of each.
All right. So Kyle,
All
what
these
are
Parkers, I only have one. Hey, most of this shelf is
See?
actually,
little humble brag there? I like how he kind of threw that in.
I'd say half of this shelf is single barrels.
Okay. So Kyle, what are some of the big things that you've learned on your whiskey journey from listening to the podcast? Besides that we can't say the name of a store on here.
Well, I guess when I really got into it, right, I didn't know too much about barrel picks, and I know that's something that Jake really focuses on and does a whole lot of. So I really began to look for some of those barrel picks of some of those, local liquor stores that I trusted and things like that, and being willing to try those. So I think, going into that, I was just buying whatever was retail and things like that, not really looking for barrel picks. I think, this show really opened me up to the barrel picks just because Jake has so many of them, right? So every other episode he's touting them or on Instagram, something like that. So I think that was one for sure.
And hopefully
sound always better.
You've enjoyed the barrel picks that you've found and have noticed a difference and increase in flavor and value compared to their standard version on the shelf.
Absolutely, yeah. Even the couple I've gotten from you, Jake, and then there's a bigger liquor store by me, and they even did like a couple of Buffalo Trace barrel picks, and even those you're just like, okay, this is a little bit different. It has a different profile than my Buffalo Trace, and this is really good. So like I said, it's opened my eyes to look for those things and to ask questions and give them a try. So that's one for sure. I would say, and just going back to your last episode, the Chuck Norris episode, higher proof is not always better, and not and low proof isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? Like everybody has their own proof level that they can enjoy at, and there's not the right spot for everybody. So I think you see bottles out there and you see people talking about stuff, and you're like, oh, you got to be drinking the Stag or whatever like that, the high proofs, and you're like, man, I really enjoy just like a 90 proof, in the 90s, bourbon to drink, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I think you guys have done a good job just to share, a wide palette of options and things like that is okay to have. So yeah.
What were your thoughts on the Stag when you got one?
Burned my soul. So I think Dan mentioned it like in the last thing. I was like, I took a sip and I was like, whoa, holy cow, and it got better, right? And things like that. But man, that first sip, you're like, oof, I was not ready for that. So
yeah, like I said in the last one, the first time I had George T. Stag, I was like, this isn't good.
He's just got a Stag. He's still early, so he got a Stag, but
well, I mean, even those are up there.
I mean, they're still similar proof. 130 something, I think the one you got was, or something around there. But
they're pretty solid. So here's a question that doesn't necessarily have a right answer, but has a lot of wrong answers. What is your favorite bottle that you've tried so far?
I gotta think. Like
That's
one that
of
I'm
the hardest questions.
I know,
Yeah.
to answer.
Trash, Jake.
Yeah, so call him out. Tell him it's a garbage.
I mean, it's
question.
a good question. It's a good question to ask because sometimes people have something at the ready, something super memorable.
I mean,
but
what's the most interesting thing you've had recently? Then, if you can't think of like your all-time favorite.
Well, I would say like I really enjoy the Knob Creek 12 year. Like just it's something that's easy to drink and go to and things like that. I would say interesting. Trying to think if there's been anything funky lately. Like one of the bottle get-togethers I go to.
How was your St. Patty's Day drink?
What did I do for St. Patty's Day?
What did you?
Jameson was terrible.
No, it wasn't that. It was proper 12.
It was proper 12. Proper 12. Sorry, proper 12. I usually do Tullamore, and it was a little bit more expensive down here. And then I did the proper 12, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is trash. So,
Tullamore is like probably the biggest sleeper in Irish whiskey. It's so good.
It's so good. Yeah.
And it's dirt cheap. Like it's ridiculous.
Gold Eagle Jake, you're not saying anything here. Are you gonna make fun of us
for
for
bottles?
No, I totally. I mean, everyone I talk to that drinks, those three Irish whiskeys says the same thing: Tullamore, and Jameson, and Proper 12. And those whiskeys are kind of meant to be taken as shots, right? They're not meant to be sipped in a Glencairn. But if you do want a shocker of a great value Irish whiskey, the Proper 12 13 year is actually very, very good and under $60. That one I would sip on.
What's better for the price, that or Tullamore for like $20?
I would say the Proper 12 13 year. I mean, the Tullamore is there's nothing wrong with it. It's a great pour for $20. But I'm not necessarily gonna ever put that in a Glencairn and savor it, sit on it.
All right.
It's a good, easy,
good to know.
quick shot.
Yeah, my neighbors.
So,
go
Since
ahead,
you
Nick.
dodged my question, Kyle, I'm going to hit you with
Yeah.
a follow up. Do you have a go-to or favorite distillery?
Oh, you're gonna probably Buffalo Trace. I think that's my go-to. So I mean, Heaven Hill, Jake. Heaven Hill. No.
Welcome to the team,
No.
Kyle.
Yeah.
He was trained
No,
well
I'd
by
say Buffalo
Dan.
Trace is. I went to Buffalo Trace 2 weeks ago. I think I told you guys. So
Mhm.
I was in Kentucky for work, and I was able to run out there really quick. And I have never been out there, so I got to get out there more. Yeah, Buffalo Trace is just. I haven't had a product really that I haven't liked yet. So that's typically my go-to. I have Eagle Rare and Buffalo Trace on the shelf at all times, and then I was able to get the antique while I was out there, and the Blanton's Gold. So the Blanton's Gold, I didn't grab it initially. All right, it was $150. Right, they had it there. Everybody was going crazy. I texted Dan, and I was like, "Oh man, I don't want to be a tater. I'm gonna get roasted." Dan's like, "I paid way more for that bottle. Just grab it." So
I think I paid $200 for mine from Sam before I came back home for Christmas. So
Look, you're never a tater if you're paying MSRP. Okay?
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that's always my goal with that, and that's what I appreciate about Jake's store and things like that, is just to pay retail, right? And that's something else that I've really learned from your guys' podcast, right? Is just like you can find things retail, and the secondary market can get crazy and stupid, but if you know what to look for and be out to look for things, you can get stuff at retail. So I have not paid over retail for a bottle yet. I probably have about 20 bottles on the shelf right now. So
Don't ever. Never
Secondary,
worth it.
secondary market is probably going to be gone in 5 or 10 years.
Mhm.
I mean, there'll be a market for things like higher age Statement Van Winkles and stuff like that, but other than that, it's going to be gone. I mean, we're getting so much more of the everyday Buffalo Trace stuff now than we ever have. Like, I'm talking 5 times the amount. Tomorrow, there's going to be a big release at Gold Eagle we got like 6 cases of E.H. Taylor small batch. I've never got that in one shipment. And this is unfortunately, the podcast is going to air on Sunday, so it's probably
Day after it's happened.
but it's just a good sign of better things to come, and I think all that stuff will, sooner than I even thought, will be available on shelves.
Well, and Kyle, when you're at Buffalo Trace, I had never seen 107 out before at the distillery.
That's a good pickup.
Yeah, so they're doing something different now, which I found interesting, and I was kind of pleasantly surprised. So every day they post on their website of what they're going to have in store by like 7:45 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see what they're going to have. And then they were supposed to have, and I don't know if they did it again the first Monday it failed, but there's a special drawing that they're doing for a special bottle that you can get in on like Mondays. And as long as you come to the distillery like the next 6 days, you get access to that bottle too. I think it was a stag. But that just shows you, right, that there's beginning to get a lot more stock, a lot more things available. So yeah, it was a good day to go. I was pleasantly surprised. It was probably about 200 deep at like 7:45 in the morning. But those lines flow so quickly, and it was in and out. And only saw one person knock over a bottle, so it did break, shockingly. But yeah, so
I thought it was funny because you texted me that you're going to be in Kentucky. Like, thinking about going to Buffalo Trace. I'm like, the tour's horrible. Don't go there. And you're like, I was just going to the gift shop. I'm like, yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah. No, the visitor center and like the grounds are super nice. Yeah. Like worst tour in Kentucky though.
But they have
it's
multiple tours.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys,
the
gotta
base
pay-
tour is
a couple years
tour
ago.
is not great,
Mhm.
but
Kyle, one thing you talked about was with the retail stuff. I think hopefully you've learned patience for some of the stuff that you want. Is just if you wait long enough and do your due diligence, you'll be able to come across that. What's the bottle scene like down there in Georgia? So obviously we know the big box stores up in Illinois, how they handle their stuff. Jake, a lot of the allocated stuff goes out to the top buyers at the year end. How have you been able to get some of the stuff that you've been able to get down there?
So it's interesting in Georgia because you're in the South, right? So we have no hard liquor in the grocery stores or the gas stations. It's all separate liquor stores. So you can just get beer and seltzers and things like that and wine at the grocery stores. So that took a little bit to get used to from being in Illinois. It's definitely different. So we have a larger liquor store here, and they've had some events and different things like that. I can pretty much down here find Eagle Rare at retail for like the past 3 years.
I was just going to ask that because I've heard that.
Yeah, Illinois, it's like everybody tell that. They're like, no way. And I was like, I can go and get it for, retail, and it's nothing. And it's sitting out in a couple cases. So, which is weird because Georgia, like what's the difference in that?
That's Buffalo Trace's game right there. They pick certain. What about regular Buffalo Trace?
Yeah, that too, right? So I think that's pretty readily available too. So it's not on the shelf all the time, but I would say if I time it right, every couple months I'll see it out and there's a whole bunch of it, right? And people aren't hounding or going after it, you just grab it. So
well, it's like the thing in Ohio is that like Weller Special Reserve and 107 are just there all the time.
107 is not there all the time, but whenever I went up to Ohio, I'd never had problems.
It used to
Special
be,
Reserve.
And now it's a little bit. I've heard it's a little bit harder, but
yeah, because everybody's going to Ohio to poach the 107.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to call him out on the podcast, but I don't know somebody who lives in Ohio and says he has 8 cases of Weller 107 at his house. And then he's like, yeah, I'm not buying it anymore because, what am I going to do with all this? But it was plentiful, and I think it is still like a big 107 market for Buffalo Trace, but now people just know that, and they're going there and buying it all up. And so that is Buffalo Trace's game. Like they pick, they want their stuff to be on the shelf. They pick certain products to be a surplus in certain markets and make all their other products harder to find in every other market. So, and people always want what they can't have, right? So like nobody in Georgia looks for Eagle Rare, but it's funny that is Buffalo Trace a little bit harder to find than Eagle Rare? You said Eagle Rare is always on the shelf, and Buffalo Trace, you can find it.
Yeah, I would say it's a mixture. Yeah, I'd say Eagle Rare is, I'm always surprised when I see it, but it's typically there. So, yeah, I don't know.
And like Texas, Weller Reserve, everywhere.
Always in Texas, yep.
Mm-hmm. AJ was just in Denver, and he was telling me he walked into a store and they had just massive stacks of Weller Special Reserve, and actually every store had massive stacks of Special Reserve. And he said he talked to one of the store employees, and they told him that Buffalo Trace is testing out a theory if it will still sell if it is easy to find.
Newsflash, it won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say,
So we'll see.
otherwise down here, I've been able to find like Elmer T. Lee, I've gotten at retail, Weller 12, and then the Stag. Now, the big liquor store down by me does an interesting thing to where they track your purchases, right? And then you get points, and they have like a club that you get in it, and then they put certain bottles and store picks in those point systems into where even they have Pappies and things like that in a glass case, but you have to have the points to get them. So they're not overcharging for them. It's a point system. So that makes me appreciate that, right? Like I want to go there and I want to go buy beer, right? Go buy wine, whatever I need to like that. Because it's going to go towards my points so I can get a nicer bottle down the road. So there's definitely stores that mark it up, just like you see everywhere. But then there's a couple of stores that track, your purchases and things like that. So you want to go support those liquor stores and go visit them. So that's how I've been able to land some of those nicer bottles. So.
Jake, you were writing something down there. You're not getting any ideas, are you?
No.
Okay, I saw you just turn to the side and write something down. I wasn't sure if you were taking notes.
No, I wish. I do wish we had a way of like doing something like that where we could show the bottles and like tell people, hey, if you get this amount of points, then you can earn the right to purchase it. But there's not an easy way for us to do that. So that's why we just kind of go down the list and email top 200 customers every year.
Nice. Kyle, how's your palate changed since you started drinking?
Don't need an ice cube every time I drink some bourbon in my glass, so or a little bit of water. So
it's the progression.
Like you guys
It's the
talked a little
progression.
bit-
I think a lot of us started with that though, with a little bit of water and ice cube to cut through.
Yeah.
I never
It
did
is-
ice.
it is the
I
natural
actually liked
progression.
it less with ice.
Okay, buddy.
No, I swear.
Just kidding.
but I would only drink like 90 proof whiskeys. So
But
yeah, so I think just being able to truly taste it without the ice in there or any water in there, I think that's changed, right? Don't always have to have it in a cocktail. Can drink it straight. I drink, started by having it in cocktails and things like that. So, open to Rise, right? Like I never really checked out Rise until like I listened to podcasts and didn't listen to Dan and tried some of those. And
finally,
man.
Rise are
got-
my go. Yeah.
saw through Dan's propaganda.
For sure, yeah. So, like I said, I've known him since preschool, so I know the lies he tries to tell everyone. But since he's been 4, so so like a Rye's probably my go-to for an old fashioned, right? When I do that now, and so I really learned that from listening to you guys and you guys talking about some of the different ones you had. So, So yeah, I think it's progressed just by drinking some higher proof, drinking it straight, being more open to try things, So, I definitely think it's changed in that way. So
I also find
Jack
it.
Bonded Rye is my favorite old fashioned whiskey.
That's a good one.
Okay. I don't know if I've tried that one.
oh, is that his list? It's
Decent
like
price
$30
point and very good.
Yeah, $35
Yeah.
or something like that for 700 ml.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my rye's getting down, so I usually keep 1 or 2 on hand for old fashioned. So I'll have to try that one, and then maybe try the new Sazerac too, since they changed that. Did you get the new bottles in, Jake, for that? The new Sazeracs?
We're supposed to get 10 cases tomorrow, which again, this podcast is going to air after, but so it'll probably be gone by the time everyone else listens. But yeah, if you 3 want the 125 proof Sazerac, we're supposed to get a bunch of it tomorrow. What, Dan?
Alex Sasha gave me a sample at one of the Lake County Whiskey Club meetups, and it wasn't that great.
Really?
Like
I
the
haven't tried it
100
yet.
proof was way better.
Yeah, but you're also always against Buffalo Trace, so
No, the 100 proof Sazerac was phenomenal.
The 100 proof is really good.
Yeah, like
Blows away the 90 proof.
yeah, the full proof was like it was. I mean, it wasn't. I'm not going to say it's bad, but it wasn't nearly as good as the 100 proof, in my opinion, at least. And Alex said the same thing. He was like, "Yeah, I wasn't really wowed by this."
We'll see
Yeah, 'cause it
tomorrow.
was 90,
I'll hopefully
and
try
they came
it.
out with 100, right? So
And then they came out with the
Are they
125.
getting rid of the 90 and replacing it with?
No,
100?
that I don't know.
That would
I
be
think-
the right move, but
Yeah, I think I've heard that, but we're still getting the 90 in, and I know they created the 100 so that it would stand up better in cocktails. But it's so good on its own.
yeah, I still haven't made a Sazerac with the 100 proof Sazerac. I want to do that.
Yeah, you should try it. I mean, I'm not a fan of the 90 proof really at all.
other than that, Kyle, what I guess what are some of the mistakes you've made so far in your whiskey journey?
ooh, all these hard questions. It's like, who hurt you?
You know,
Have you ha- have
you
you
know
gotten
this,
any-
Kyle.
Have you
It's-
gotten any bottles that you really regret?
I I don't think that there's been anything crazy.
It's because you listen to me
Well,
for
you said
advice.
you haven't paid any secondary pricing. for
I have not paid
anything,
any
right? So
secondary.
it makes
You know, the
everything
one-
much more easy to stomach.
Yeah, there is one bottle like that I thought was going to be a lot better that wasn't as good, and it was a single barrel select from 1792, but it was from the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. So I had a guy bring that one back, and I thought, okay, if they're doing that for that, like, okay, that should be a really nice bottle. And I was like, yeah, it's okay, right? So, but I don't know if I've had regrets because, and I'm probably one of those that's not going to spend a whole lot of money on, probably that Blanton's for 150 was the most I've ever paid for a bottle. So, but
You tried it yet?
I have not tried it. I tried the 107, and then I got a bottle of was it Cooper Cast that you suggested that was out there?
Coopercraft.
Cooper Craft. So
Yeah,
that was
that's a
only in
good
Kentucky. So.
That's a good one.
So that's good as well. So I don't think I have too much regrets. My wife is always like, okay, what do you got? All right, how much was that? All right, I'm going shopping. So you got that battle, but other than
Now
that,
just do it. Jake doesn't lie.
No, the strategy is just overwhelming
Okay.
force. Or one day you show up with 3 boxes, and then it's just like, oh, okay, whatever.
I like that.
get a pallet delivered to the house. I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You can't quantify this.
Yeah, that was like, I'll never forget the day where it was shortly after Jake bought his first Pappy off of, was it when you were part of Flavor or whatever?
Yeah.
And we were sitting around talking or something. I said something about the price that you paid. And George was like, wait, that bottle costs that much? I'm like, no, he's part of a club. It's cheaper because he's part of this club.
Yeah.
Totally swept that one under the rug. But
Yeah.
well, that's good. And you won't make mistakes because you listen to my advice, so we know that you're going to end up with good whiskey. It's pretty simple.
Heavy on the Jakes, easy on the Dan, and we make it work. So,
Hey.
Hey,
I
and Gold Eagle Jake wouldn't have shipped you that box if he didn't agree with what I told you to get.
true.
No, I don't care. If you want to order, we'll ship it.
He cares about your money. He doesn't care about anything but your money, Cal. No,
It's all right. I'm here to
no,
support.
he threw a glass in for you that you're drinking out of. That was nice of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the clunk here. Yeah.
Nice.
No, I greatly appreciate it. So,
No, obviously,
What-
if you want curated advice, I'm happy to give it. But if I know Dan's got your back.
well, and you're a busy dude too, Jake. So, right. So don't open that can of worms. I'll just start texting you nonstop.
Dude, you can. That's my job. I'm busy, but that's my job. That's what I do. So if you need advice, you need help, reach out.
He really likes if you ask him if he's got Taylors.
Mm-hmm.
Got Taylor's
I just told him how to get
in a
it.
day.
So
In a day, he'll have them.
tomorrow.
Yes.
What's still on your hit list, Kyle? What's something that you really want to have in part of your collection?
Ooh, I should look at my list really quick.
Ooh.
I don't know if there's going to be good things on here or not, but
You guys make fun of me for being a nerd. This guy keeps a list on his phone too, so shut
I mean,
up.
that's cool. That's
well-
a good idea.
Jake R would appreciate it. I keep a list of all the movies I watch, and then I rate them and put a rating next to them. So
Nice.
You gotta.
You gotta get letterboxed.
Yeah. Just some of the things you guys have talked about, right? The old Overholt, 1792 Sweet Wheat I haven't gotten yet.
I think you're going to get
Forget about-
pushback from people on that on here. I'm a 1792 Sweet Wheat fan.
I think it's overrated. I think Maker's
You think
Mark.
it's overrated? Yeah.
I think standard Maker's Mark is better.
The 101? Or,
Just the regular 90.
oh, okay. Okay.
But I also
I've
like
never
Maker's
had it,
Mark,
so I
and
have no-
some people don't like Maker's Mark. I think the
I
name
hate
Sweet
regular
Wheat
But all the
is
others
one of the
are
biggest gimmicks.
All right. See, that's advice from Dan, and I may have to move away from it. So,
Don't. All right, look. Don't ever listen.
I would. My suggestion to you, if you see it at retail, grab it because it's like a $40 bottle, and there's nothing wrong with it for $40. It doesn't deserve the hype that it gets.
You don't see it though. Typically, like I don't see it.
No,
down
you
here.
don't see it. Like we don't get it often at all. Like maybe I think last year we got 6 bottles. We got 1 case, and that was it.
Wow.
You should try the Green River weeded instead.
See, Dan said he didn't like that. So
I didn't like
Dan
that. I
doesn't
didn't like
know.
Castle and Key weeded either.
Dan
But I haven't had Castle and Key weeded for a while.
The Green River Foolproof weeded is very good, and that's under $50.
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, I have plenty to try. It was really fun to be in Kentucky. I was in Corbin, Kentucky, which is where Colonel Sanders is from. So I got to go to the Colonel Sanders KFC museum down there. Highly mid. So, but
that's the most disappointing thing I've ever heard, I think.
yeah, it was cool.
I thought you were going to say highly recommend it.
Yeah, but the restaurant we had a great bourbon selection, and I had a customer out, so got to do the double oaked Woodford, which was really good to try, and they only charged us once for the pour, which was even better. So, but just being able to go out to the restaurants there and just see the bourbon whiskey selection, and just seeing how much they actually had, right, compared to here in Georgia, right, there might be 5 to 10 choices. So that was a lot of fun while I was down there. So, or up there for me. So
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything that like you really want to try? That's like at the top of your list?
like Michter's tenure, is that too much to ask for?
No.
No.
That's a good choice.
Come,
So that's on the list.
Swing over to next time you're back home. Swing over to Marengo. Sam's got it on his tasting shelf.
And that's the key, right? Like down here in Georgia, we don't have tastings because of the liquor laws are so strict, right? So like I really envy that about Jake's Liquor Store and the liquor stores in Illinois, that some of those can have that and you can get a taste of something. I don't have that liberty to go in somewhere and actually try a sample unless somebody's pouring samples. So, and then more of the Pappies, try more of that. I've tried the 10-year, and it was really cool. One of the liquor stores locally just opened a bottle for everybody and gave out little like communion cups of them and says, "Hey, thank you for being our customers," and they just poured out the whole bottle for samples for everybody coming through. So appreciate them doing that. So
Jake, how about a Gold Eagle Customer Appreciation Day?
I don't know. That's kind of wild.
you idiots, yeah.
Kyle's never allowed back on. He's out of the group chat.
I mean, I don't care. I mean, that's just I don't know. That's for a store to do that. That's wild. Not
Yeah,
saying customers don't deserve it, but like you
It's
only
a lot
get
of
so
money.
many.
You're right.
You only get so
It's a high
many.
commodity.
Like I want them to go to people who really support the store and will really
True.
appreciate it.
Plus, the word would get out so quick, and you'd have people like falling all over us.
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to get a little
Mhm.
communion cup of Pappy 10.
Yeah, how are you even gonna taste it?
Yeah. Well, you gave them Dan offering sweaty samples of bourbon cream from Whiskey Acres. I don't know what more
We gave
they
them
want.
glasses to pour it in.
Oh my gosh! So
I wasn't sweaty that day. It was a winter day. The worst
Doesn't
is
You were a
is
little sweaty.
a little.
Doesn't
I'm always a little sweaty. That's the usual amount of sweaty for me. It's when you're in Gold Eagle in the summer and it's 90 degrees in the back bar that I get super sweaty. But
yeah, I ran into Dan's mom after he did that Whiskey Acres sampling at Gold Eagle that I was able to attend. And just so everybody on the podcast know, Gold Eagle Jake is much taller in person, so that was the first thing that like surprised me. I was like, "Holy cow, you're like 6'2", 6'1", something like that." That threw me off. But she's like, "Well, how'd Dan do in his presentation?" Like any mom would ask, and I said, "He was really sweaty. He did a good job." And she's like, "Oh, that's normal. I'm not too concerned." So she did it like phaser. She's like, "Oh, that's my kid." So you're just a sweaty man.
sweaty man. Nothing you can do about it. My man must.
It's like that the Jordan Peele meme where it's just like buckets of
Oh,
water like,
yeah.
falling down his face. Well, Dan's trying to talk about corn sex, and there's just water like pouring out his face.
Well, I mean, part of that was I was getting a little turned on myself. To be fair, like if we're gonna go down that road, it gets me a little hopped up. So
The bottle that or the tasting that we did last that everybody loved, is that ever coming out, or is that still in the reserves with Rob. Was it the
what?
7-year rye or
Oh, the
was
10-year
that?
rye?
The 10-year rye?
Oh,
it wasn't quite
yeah.
10 years. It was 8. It was a little over 8
I
years.
thought it was
tried
older.
No, I thought
No,
it was
because
10.
the first
I
bottle.
thought
Or
it
he
was
wants
the
to
first,
hold it until it's 10.
he wants to hold it. The first barrel
Yeah.
was February 14th, 2015. So the first barrel, just barrel 1, just got over 10 years. So
Yes, it was like 8, I think, right?
Well,
yeah,
that
it
would
was
be
an
a
8-year
long
rye
one.
that we tried there. And then Kyle, you've tried some of the other stuff, and you've come to Whiskey Acres. So you've got to thieve some barrels with me. So
Yeah, no, I got the full experience. So
back when I did cool things for work and get paid to drink on the job every day, I miss those days. I just got to
Yep, you
do
left
it and hope I
all.
don't get. I just got to do it and hope I don't get caught. Any other questions you guys got for Kyle? We got a viewer or listener, I guess. He probably doesn't watch on YouTube.
I don't know if I have a question, but I just want to add, I think it's super cool that you got into bourbon from listening to the podcast. We had kind of talked about that a little bit more before we started recording. But the fact that you just were looking for podcasts and you knew Dan and you hopped on and all this nonsense got you getting into bourbon and looking for bourbons, I think is super cool. And I'm sure most of our listeners are were already into bourbon, which is why they gravitated towards the podcast. I'm curious if there's anyone else out there that also got into bourbon because of the podcast, but that's super cool.
Yeah, let us know if you did. If we got you turned on to bourbon and whiskey, let us know.
Have you indoctrinated any friends into alcoholism? Let us know.
Hobbyism. It's hobbyism. We talked about this. It's a hobby.
Oh,
It is a
yes,
hobby.
Hobbyism, sorry.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, so I moved down to Georgia 5 years ago, right? So I didn't know anybody. So, but definitely getting neighbors to try stuff and finding people down here that enjoy bourbon, right? And connecting that way. Definitely connect, so originally from the Rockford area is where my company's from. So I'll send links to Gold Eagle when they got free shipping and things like that. And because there's a bunch of guys at work that drink a lot of bourbon and whiskey. So send them an episode or send them in a Gold Eagle barrel pick or something like that. So, I would say that's where it has, and I can have those conversations, right? Talk about stuff and be educated on things when people are talking about it. Semi-educated, but enough to where I'm not saying in line at Buffalo Trace and the guy in front of me is like, "Is this Gold Eagle or is this
Eagle Rare.
is this any good?" And it was why can't I think of it?
The Bland's Gold.
The Blands. It was just Blands. But he was like, "Is
Oh.
this any good? I'm going to ship it to my friend in Florida." And I was like, yeah, should be good. You're good, man." So, but even though hold my own, even just listen to people talk in the line
should've
at
said-
Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, it is good if you're a tater.
Yeah, whatever you
And
want.
it would have been like, ooh.
Yeah. So, but just listening, people talking in the line and talking about different things, and you're like, man, I know more than what I think I do, right? And I know more about these distilleries because I listen to this podcast, and I appreciate that you guys do a wide variety of topics, and you're consistent, right? So it takes a lot of effort to do this every week, but you consistently get stuff out, and the guest speakers are a lot of fun, and no, Jake's laughing, but
Well, because Dan was, when you said it takes a lot of effort, Dan's face was like,
I didn't see that.
Just for the record, Dan just shows up every week and talks. He doesn't do shit. So
Yeah, and Gold Eagle Jake gets all the guest speakers on, and then
Hey. First off, guest speaker right here. Secondly, I've gotten a few guest speakers.
whoa, I would not consider myself a guest speaker. Ooh. Yeah,
It counts. You're speaking and you're a guest. I'm pretty sure that counts. I've gotten a couple people. And fine, you know what? I'll take out the one I've been working on. Take him right out of the mix. Never mind.
you've been working on Rob for like 5 years.
Yeah, I think I might have actually got him on.
I think that was
I
before
got-
I joined the podcast.
Yeah.
I got Connor from Outlaw on.
you did.
So
I'll give you that one.
that's more than you got, Jake. Shut up. Yeah.
I've gotten like 3 or 4.
Who?
I mean, he does
The
the
ones
editing
that
and
reached out
uploading.
through email.
the people that do reach out to us. And if I respond to the email, I could count them as mine, but I don't want to do work, so I don't. No, well, we appreciate the kind words there, Kyle. But yeah, I think that's the most fun part is like, even like, I know more than a lot of people, not more than most. But just like when I was in the line here in Utah that one day, just like as you're sitting there listening to people talk and just like the knowledge you've gained over the years, you're like, God, these are idiots I'm in line with. I know more than I thought. So, but awesome.
Have you looked into like the whiskey club like scene around you at all, or?
So yeah, there is an Augusta one. So I'm down in Augusta, Georgia. So there is an Augusta one. I know some guys that are in it, and they come out with some barrel picks. I was actually just looking at what they were coming out for barrel picks. They have a Augusta Buckner's 13-year coming out, a Hirsch single barrel coming out, and then a Dark
Augusta
Arts
13.
straight rye finished in maple syrup barrel. So I haven't joined any of those, but I do go to some of their events and do bottle swaps and things like that. And there's a guy in the neighborhood that will show up, and then there's 30 bottles there, and you can try whatever. So I really enjoy that scene of the bourbon. Just of, hey, you're getting with guys, right, and you're getting away, but then you can try something that you've always wanted to try too, right? So, so yeah.
Awesome. Well, Kyle, we appreciate you picking up our social media slack for us. Jenna Ray really appreciates that. If you want to be like Kyle and live in a state that's not Illinois and get great Gold Eagle barrel picks, I'm here for the transitions, Kyle. That's all I do. Jake, where can people get liquor shipped to them from?
You can go to goldeaglewine.com. You can, if you're local to Northern Illinois, come see us in Libertyville. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Gold Eagle Wine, Facebook at Gold Eagle Spirits to see the Taylor that we're getting in tomorrow, which is 2 or 3 days ago since this podcast airs. There will be more. There will be plenty more. Trust me.
And Jake, where can people go and criticize Kyle's Instagram post for us?
Yes, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Bourbon Matters. You can listen to us on Spotify, Google, or Apple Podcasts. You can watch us on Spotify and YouTube. Make sure you drop some thank you, Kyle, comments on some of the recent posts. I think you've only done 2 so far, but they're much appreciated. We're thankful and for your little efforts so far, but future efforts.
Let's call it for what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate the opportunity to help you guys out. So
awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Kyle. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that's what that